So today I kind of wanted to do a bit of an art supply haul with you guys. I went to the art store yesterday as a Christmas present for myself, and I figured we just go through all of it and we can kind of swatch it and see what some of it does. I thought it would be kind of fun to test this out. It's this weird, I don't know, I bought it at David's Art Supply in New Orleans last time I was there. It's like a translucent kind of, I don't know, it's watercolor paper, but I have no idea how that's gonna work, honestly. So I really want to try these paint markers first. I don't even know. We're just gonna open them and try. I probably need to oh, they do the shaky thing. Okay, so this color is the Unbleached Titanium. Ooh, that's cool. This probably isn't the best paper to swatch this on, but it's okay. Oh, you can get kind of a fine point with that. Interesting. So this one is the Naples Yellow. Oh, these are actually really nice. I should probably see how these work on like a canvas or something and not watercolor paper. All right, it's harder to get a finer point with that one. This is light pink. Whenever I buy new art supplies like this, I always try to pick colors that will go together. Are these refillable? I don't even know. Then I got this, whatever this is, Cadmium Red Deep Hue. I do love cadmium colors. Nice, nice. What is this one? This is oh, Parchment. Kind of looked like a greeny gray. I don't know, it might be really close to the other neutral I got, but we'll see. Oh, this is a really nice color. Ooh, I like all of these colors together. So you can get kind of a fine point on it if you're careful. Let's see how they layer. Okay. Let's see if we can layer that light one on top of it, okay? I don't know how long does it take to dry. Oh, I guess like normal regular acrylic paint. Whee. I feel like these would probably work better on a canvas. I don't know. Yeah, these to me anyways, these are way more useful than Posca pens. I've never really used any other paint markers before, but I feel like this is something I will actually use. Okay, is that dry yet? I am not patient. Whee. Let's bring out this weird stuff again, just because I'm interested to see how they work on a smoother surface. Ooh, this is fun. This is such weird. It says it's paper, but to me it just feels like plastic. I don't know what this is. It's so weird. Pink stem. This is gonna take a bit to dry. Let's just do some swatches with these colored pencils. These are just the Faber-Castell Polychromos. I only have a couple of these, so I've just picked up a few colors that I thought I would use. All right, so it's Warm Gray 2. I like Polychromos. I think they're nice pencils. My favorite colored pencils are the Luminance colored pencils. Like, I do really like vibrant colored pencils, but sometimes it's hard to get them. That's a really pretty color. What is this one? This is Earth Green. That's really pretty. It's a very muted color. Oh, I really liked this one. Crimson, that's such a, it's always weird to me, the color names that are given to things, because I think of crimson, this is like purple. How is crimson and purple the same color? Like crimson, I think of something more along the lines of this color, not whatever this purple is. I haven't found a really good purple with the luminance, so this crimson color is gonna be my purple. We only get to do little lines over here because I was overzealous on the other side. This one is an olive green yellowish, it says. Now, I'm not really a big, I don't know, I like greens, but I don't like really vibrant grass greens. I like weird, not weird greens, but yeah, grass green is, ugh, it is not my favorite color. These kind of colors, like, yeah, the olives, and then this muted kind of like a, I don't know what kind of green that is. Moss, maybe? It's like a moss green. That's the cat. That's Peaches lurking around, rubbing her face on things in the background. So this one is it's burnt ochre. I like this color. I thought it looked pretty with all these. I think this palette together of these kind of neutral colors, I guess, and then this purple, I think they look really pretty together. I have a lot of fun working with really limited color palettes a lot of the time. Actually, I think most of the illustrations that I do in general, as far as my more illustrative work, they're all very limited color palettes. I really rarely do more than 5 colors. Okay, so this is dried mostly. Oh, weird. Weird. I say weird, and this is probably like the most normal. Okay, it is, I have to be careful not to smash too hard because it is kind of reactivating the pigment underneath. Kind of, yeah, it's dry enough. I think it's a little wet, but it's no big deal. Interesting. I don't think acrylic works really well on this paper. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry. Okay, so next I'm gonna swatch these acrylic gouache colors. They're by Turner, and I didn't really have these in Holbein colors, and I don't really have any Turner acrylic gouache, so I kind of wanted to test it and see if I liked it. So this one is Pastel Sand. So this one looks a lot like the Holbein beige color, except it's a bit more yellow, I think. When I do gouache paintings, I usually either paint with Winsor & Newton gouache, or if I'm doing something that has more detail in it, or I have to do a lot of like fine kind of lines and a lot of different layers to get the effect that I want, I will usually use the acrylic gouache, which I know acrylic gouache is basically just acrylic paint or with a mattifier in it. I probably should have gotten another brush for this, but it's okay. So the next color we'll do is another, so this is crimson, right? This is crimson. How are these both crimson? This is literally, this is purple. All right. Now I know some people actually like the Turner gouache more than the Holbein gouache or acrylic gouache. This color pleases me a lot. All right, let's make another squiggle with a brush you're not supposed to line with. It does dry really nice and matte. This one is Grayish Red. I really liked this color. I thought these 3 colors all looked really pretty together, actually. This color is nice. The benefit also of acrylic gouache is that it basically dries the same like color as it is when it's wet. Regular gouache doesn't do that, so you have to do a lot more swatch testing. Usually before I do a gouache painting, a gouache illustration, I will mix all of my colors and swatch everything and basically just have the colors pre-mixed. This is gonna dry before we go on to other things. What I'm gonna do is paint on this and see what it does. This is so weird. This paper, guys, is like, I know it's watercolor paper, or it's supposed to be watercolor paper, so we'll see how that looks, but I am not enjoying it. I don't think I'll be able to use this for mixed media, because I also don't really like brush strokes. I do my very best to hide as many brush strokes as I can, because I don't like the way it looks. I like things that are very flat and matte, and like, ugh, that is not good. Let's do the red, I guess. Well, actually, you know what? Let's dilute it to make it very watercolor-esque. And then, so that, okay, that I feel like works better. But you know what? Let's go and see what it does. So this is actually really interesting. Let me get a different brush. Let's just try some wet into wet things here with this. This is weird. Oh, neat. This is cool. I'm so like mean to the paper, and then I knew I wasn't using it how I was supposed to. I bet you this would look really cool with alcohol ink if you were an alcohol ink artist. Let me go shove this in here too. Oh, wild. Huh. Did y'all see that? That's so cool. I'm intrigued to see how this dries actually, because if it, no, oh, I touched the paper, I made a mess. This is just To me, this just looks like alcohol ink. It's weird. Oh, cool, huh? This is some of my favorite paint for mixed media. It dries really flat and it dries really matte, and I think it's awesome, especially on canvas. I use it a lot. This Paynes Grey here is probably one of my favorite colors of paint of all time. And this stuff works really well under, as an underpainting for oil paint. I really love these palette knives. They are not cute, but the grip is really nice. So, okay, let me go put some of this on here, actually, just a tiny bit. This stuff's also really, really pigmented, so you don't have to use a ton. And I don't know, I think the jars are really cute too. Do you see it's really, this stuff's nice. It's like a vinyl emulsion paint, I think is what it's called. Or I know that's what it's called. It's vinyl emulsion. But anyways, I really love this paint. That's all I really have to say about it. It's a little expensive, but I feel like it's so pigmented. It does last a long time. It's very matte, and it's almost like a matte acrylic, but at the same time, you can dilute it down to a point of this, so it's like a watercolor. And it works really well as an underpainting for oil paint, I think. Okay, that's my amusement of the day. So I'm gonna leave these to dry. I'm intrigued to see how long it takes to dry because the water's just like there. Since we're already here on this, I'm gonna just swatch on regular paper the two vinyl emulsion paints. It's so like, let me see. This is probably my favorite Paynes Grey. And it's cool, they have the pigment information on the jar. So I actually, when I was glazing my oil painting that had this as an underpainting, I wanted to glaze it with the same colors. And all I did was just look for the pigments on the back of the oil paint tubes, and I matched up the pigments and I mixed my own version of this Paynes Grey. Since I said this is kind of watercolory, I want y'all to see what it'll do when it bleeds in. Hold on. There. But yeah, I love this stuff. Is really cool. It works really well on canvas. It's an awesome paint. It's very versatile. This is the Ivory color, which this is another color I really love just straight out of the bottle. It's like a really nice off-white. It's very creamy and it's very warm, and I think it works really well with my style and color palettes. And you can mix this stuff with other paints too. I've done that. I like to play around with a lot of things and mixing things. I love mixed media. When I want to be really detailed, I'll paint a lot with gouache and make these very intricate little minimalist paintings. But if I just want to have fun, then mixed media is one of my favorites. Now we're gonna swatch all these acrylics, except the zinc white, because that's just kind of like an opaque white that I just bought because I was out of. I don't have a ton of regular acrylic paint, and so I usually just kind of slowly build up my collection of acrylics over time, just because I just do. So this one is, I don't know, this is some kind of mix. I don't know what it is. I guess Titanium Violet Pale. It's a really pretty pinky white, which you don't see a lot of. That's cool. That's a really pretty color. All right, this is Quinacridone Violet. I love quinacridones. Quinacridone Purple and Violets and all of the quinacridones are probably some of my favorite colors. Gross. I'm so messy. No, it's fine. Oh my God, it's such a pretty color. I love it. Oh, it's so pretty. I always feel like with watercolors, they never dry as vibrant as I like. Some of them are pretty good, but I feel like the Quinacridone Violet, anyone I've ever tried, always dries a little, just sad compared to how it looks wet. To me, this is probably one of my favorite colors. I don't even use it very much in general. Let's mix it with this color. Oh, that's a nice purple. A little darker. Those mix really well together. Wow, I feel like I picked good colors this time. Sometimes I'll buy a couple things and I am just not pleased with them. All right, let's add a tiny bit of this and do a lighter one. That's really nice. I need to do more mixing tests with my acrylics. So let's take the Naples Yellow. Pretty, pretty. Let's mix the Naples Yellow with the Quinacridone. See what mess we get there. I feel like I could just mix colors all day and just be perfectly pleased with life. Put more purple in here. Those look nice together. This is Transparent Red Oxide. Transparent Red Iron Oxide. It's a single pigment, I guess. Ooh, I like this. I should have thrown more out, but it's okay. I only started to recently get into using acrylics. Well, like these like regular acrylics, like acrylic in a tube, because I always use the golden, like, what is it? The high flow acrylics or whatever they are. All right, let's mix this together. Nice, nice. I like how my swatches have just gotten messier. I tried to do like cute ones and then, well, I just get lazy. I really love golden paints. My favorite oil paints are Williamsburg oils. I mainly use those. I have a couple random ones floating around, but Williamsburg are pretty much my favorite. And Williamsburg is owned by Golden now, I believe. That's just, I don't know, that's just like a nice color palette in itself. So the last one I have, as far as they're just regular acrylics, is this, what is this? Terre Verte Hue. So I guess green Earth Hue. It is a mixture also. This one's pretty transparent also. That is a nice, really nice color. It's like the same color as the colored pencils that I got earlier. Whenever I buy like a bunch of art supplies, I always end up buying everything in the same color palette for the most part. I want to mix this green with purple. I like mixing green and purple. Let's see what this does. I have to bring some more out. Yeah, Quinacridone Violet is literally, oh, it's such a nice color. Ooh, I like that. I probably should make notes on what all this stuff is because I'll forget. But I want to do something with this right here. Like those are awesome. Oh, it's nice. Pretty, pretty. The last thing I'm gonna swatch are these golden high flow acrylics. I use these so much. I think I've gone through like 3 bottles of this one. Basically, it works like watercolor almost. These are just colors that I didn't have just to try to fill out my collection of them. I'm gonna swatch them just in case you guys are interested. So they basically come out like thick, creamy watercolor. Now these are cool because you can also make a mess here. Kind of put them into water like that and kind of do like wet into wet. I know you can do it with regular acrylics, but it's a lot easier to do it with these. This one is oh my gosh, Benzimidazolone. What kind of word is that? I don't even know. It's a long word. I got this one because I didn't have a cooler yellow and I needed it for mixes. I don't remember what I was saying. I got distracted. But yeah, no, I use a lot of this and the vinyl emulsion paint. I use a absorbent ground medium on my acrylic paintings, my like mixed media acrylics, and I will tint the absorbent ground with this paint. But yeah, this is Alizarin Crimson Hue, whatever. I can't pronounce things sometimes, it's fine. But yeah, so I'll tint the absorbent ground with a few kind of drops of this stuff. So then my background for my mixed media acrylic paintings is more, it's not like pure white. Kind of gives like the illusion of raw canvas, I guess. I usually use the burnt sienna and then, I don't remember, maybe yellow ochre, I think. I'm just doing this because it's kind of fun. All right, this one is Dioxazine Purple. But yeah, so I've mixed these paints with like a super granulating watercolors before and it's given me some like really good results. But yeah, like I said, I really do. I do love mixed media stuff. Like to me, mixed media is very relaxing and it's more like, I don't know, fancy color swatching. Not fancy color swatching, but you know. Now I probably shouldn't be swatching these all on like watercolor paper, but that's what I'm doing. Okay, the next one is this Indigo, which is pretty. Well, it's all over my fingers now. I am a messy, messy painter. It's a nice dark color. See, it's cool. So it's almost like it's kind of like an acrylic ink in a way. All right, so the last thing I have is just another bottle of this Liquitex acrylic ink. This is in muted pink. I do love acrylic ink too. I feel like I love most art supplies. That's why I like to do mixed media so much, because you can mix all sorts of stuff together and just like do all sorts of interesting techniques. But yeah, I just thought this color was really pretty. I like this brush a lot. It's a Holbein brush. It's got a really sharp point. Here's all of the swatches that we did for all of the stuff. I'm not sure how I feel about the paint markers. I don't know if I would buy them again because I feel like I could just buy paint and use a brush. And the Turner acrylic wash is really, really like, this is really, if you guys can see that, these are really matte and velvety and the colors are really rich. I would definitely buy more of the Turner gouache. And then we have the colored pencils, the Polychromos. I like them. I really like this color a lot. It's a really pretty purple. Even though they said it was crimson, it was not crimson. I feel like that's a lie. It's a ridiculous lie, because that's crimson too. Those are both crimson. That's purple. Who comes up with these names? I don't know, not me. This is really neat. You guys can hopefully see it, but this is the vinyl emulsion paint, and this is kind of what it does in water when you do like wet into wet painting with it. This is the Paynes Grey, that's the Ivory. You can't really see it as well, but the Paynes Grey is, I don't know, I love it. I'm obsessed with it. It's a great, like this is really cool paint. It's really good if you're into mixed media stuff. And over here are all of our regular acrylics. I think this like just up here by itself, I think that's a really cool color palette, and I really want to play a lot more with these. So this is that weird transparent watercolor paper. It is really interesting. You know what we're gonna do? I don't need it to dry all the way because I don't care, I guess. We're gonna blot it off. It's so weird. Like, it looks really neat. It definitely, I would not use it with acrylics or anything like that. I don't think it looks very good, but I would definitely try to do something neat again with using it more like, yeah, like, well, it's supposed to be a watercolor paper, so. That's how it looks. This is through the window, so you can kind of get a better idea, but yeah, watercolor, like wet and wet watercolor, I think you could, I might be able to do some neat stuff with it. I don't know. It's neat, whatever it is. I'm glad I got it to try. I hope you guys had fun swatching with me, and I hope you all have a happy holiday wherever you are. Okay, bye.